everybody. It is Saturday, December 26, 2015. Yesterday was Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas anyway. I still say Merry Christmas, even though I don't believe in the religious reason for the season. I could say Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Aliyah, but I won't. I'll just say Merry Christmas. It's easier to get out of the way. Happy holidays in general, though, because yesterday is Saturnalia, there's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah. All those holidays are all rolled into one for me. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever. Anyway, last night was pretty awesome. I'm not going to spoil this for you because this is not what I actually want to talk about, but I do want to mention last night was the Christmas episode of Doctor Who. It was beautiful. It involved River Song. The story gave me all the feels. It is fucking hilarious. For the big part of it, there's some moments in there where it will tug your heartstrings. That's all I'm gonna say. If you didn't see it, you need to find it. You need to find it on BBC America or on BBC over in Britain or anywhere online, wherever you can find it. You need to see this. This is the quintessential River Song episode. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's amazing. That said, I'm not even going to talk about Deadpool. I would love to sit here and talk about Deadpool all day, but I'm not. The reason I'm not going to talk about Deadpool is because I saw something that kind of bothered me a little while ago on Facebook. Now, it has to do, of course, with Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which, I already did 2 episodes last week about, in the twofer in the twofer I posted. So if you listen to that, you know how I feel. You've heard my fanboy reaction. You've heard me talk about the big spoiler. I'm not going to mention it again, I promise, because some people have specifically avoided listening to those shows to avoid knowing what I was going to talk about. So I'm not going to bring it up. I promise not ruin it for you. So you all kind of know what my thing is with this with this movie. But I want to talk about something that I saw on Facebook, and that thing is kind of interesting. And what it is a little meme, and if you're watching right now, it says Phasma who? I was the badass, and what you're seeing is a Riot control Stormtrooper, because apparently those are now things that we have to have. There was a toy that came out in, I believe it was the Power of the Force line in the mid-90s, that was a Riot control Stormtrooper on I want to say Tatooine, I don't remember, but he had this little jetpack thingy and this big baton that you could just grab. It was one of those 90 toys where it was a claw and it would just kind of snap around their waist. One of those rigid clip things that would just right on snap, and hold it still. So they kind of recreated that with this. He has a baton that he flings out. There was someone who was able to create their own version of it using PVC pipe. I don't remember who. I'm sorry. I want to say it was Make Magazine. It may have been All Me. I don't know. I'll find it. I'll mention it on our Facebook page, whatever. Anyway, this guy essentially built it using duct tape and a spring and some PVC pipe. Just kind of recreates the thing. But what he does is it's basically like a tonfa, and of course he has a shield and everything, but he actually throws the shield away and flings around the baton, what's really just a baton, and then he fights Finn. Now I'm not going to spoil it. I promise. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to tell all of you at the point in the time the movie takes place. I'm not going to tell you who wins, even though you can probably figure it out. But I want to talk about how this, now see, here it's intentionally being blacked out. Don't worry about anything. It's fine. Everything's okay. But here we go. Actually, in reality, that was me screwing up. I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to block the images, so I'm sorry about that. Anyway, like I said, you see, he kind of spins it around no shield. Here he is standing there. You can't see Finn. He's actually off screen in this. But the Riot Control Stormtrooper is being called the badass in this because he fights Finn, and oh, he's just a Stormtrooper who's unafraid of a Jedi and a lightsaber, and everybody else, like, ooh, lightsabers, ooh, we're gonna run away. Except for the Magna Guards who protected General Grievous. This is the first time on film that we've actually seen someone go against, toe to toe with the Jedi. Except the problem is Finn is not a Jedi. He's force sensitive. He's capable of using the Force. But this is one of the first. Actually, this is the first point in time where he actually wields the lightsaber. And I know I said I wouldn't want to spoil it, but I have to mention that one thing. This is the first real time you see him using a lightsaber in the movie. He is entirely untrained. He has no idea what he's doing, going toe to toe with a soldier who is unafraid of him. Now, why is the soldier unafraid of him? Well, this is 30 years after the Jedi have, after Luke Skywalker became the last Jedi, and this is after all the Jedi that he was training. Something happened to them. Okay, let's just say there's no Jedi left. Okay, I mean, we're talking 48 years after the end of the Clone War here at this point in time. But anyway, the Stormtrooper is not afraid of a Jedi. He's not afraid to fight him, head on, and that's cool. It's really cool that that Stormtroopers have been taught that, and it says a lot about him. The problem being that everyone's like, well, this Stormtrooper actually fought Finn, and Finn's a Force user. Finn's a Jedi. No, again, Finn is not a fucking Jedi. Okay, just because he's Force sensitive and he has a lightsaber does not make him a Jedi. Okay, yes, he fights a Stormtrooper. Yes, it's actually a really cool little sequence, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing!" Like I said, this trooper is now a meme because he gets to spend a few seconds in entire, and I don't know who portrayed this trooper, so it's a role of nothing but pure anonymity where he fights a Jedi. Ooh, no, really, he's not. Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, when he faced off against Darth Vader, that was the moment of badassery. Okay, that was a very highly undertrained individual going against someone who was more trained than he was, and he still wasn't able to beat him. He wasn't able to beat him. Okay, Finn's able to beat this dude because some other shit happens. Okay, that's all I want to point out. Everyone who's like, well, this guy's a badass. He's a better badass than Captain Phasma. No, really, think about it. Okay, Finn essentially gets lucky. He fights this dude who's not afraid of him. He knows he has no reason to be afraid of him because he's not a Jedi to begin with. Okay, and Finn is just like, oh, I have a lightsaber, and attacks him and whatever. And it's a cool fight sequence. That's all I want to say. It's a cool fight sequence. But I'm sorry, but this trooper is not a badass. Okay, he's not. He's fighting someone who is not a fucking Jedi. Now I realize, well, he's gonna be a future Jedi. I get that. That's awesome as shit, and I like the idea. But the reality is, Finn's not a Jedi. Okay, he just happened to use the weapon that he had in his hands. If he had a gun, he could have just shot the Stormtrooper and been over there. Because the Riot Trooper does not carry a firearm. Okay, well, it's not really a firearm. It's more of a laser. But you get the point. He doesn't have a gun. He has a baton and a shield, and it's kind of strange because you can see there's a fight going on around them. So it's weird to have an electrified baton and a shield in a condition where people have guns. Okay, I'm sorry, it didn't make any damn sense. It's more like this dude is a police officer, like a riot control police officer, responding to a terrorist attack. And he's like, oh, look at me, I have my shield and I have a baton. Only it's more like a taser. It's like I have a taser baton and a shield, and I'm gonna throw the fucking shield away. And then he gets attacked by someone with a sword. Okay, that's what you're looking at. It's a cop versus someone with a sword that they have just picked up, or a pipe, or whatever you want to imagine. That's really what's going on. and it annoys me. It's like, oh my goodness, really, stop fawning over the Riot Control Stormtrooper. He is a dumb throwaway character that was intended. Oh, really, the only purpose that this trooper actually has in the movie is just to show Finn has potential at doing something awesome. That's really all it is. It is a moment where you see, again, an untrained individual with a weapon that they have no experience using that weapon against somebody who had actually got training. It's just to connect this movie with the original movies. Okay, that's all that it does. That's all that it does. There are plenty of times where you see in Star Wars that untrained individuals who are not Jedi and aren't even Force sensitive are able to pick up a lightsaber and use it against anybody they want to because it's a fucking lightsaber. It's a, now I realize it's a movie. It doesn't matter. It's not real. I shouldn't be getting worse about it. But it's a dumb thing for everyone who is head over heels for this one character to be like, oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, it is kind of cool that they, that they gave Finn a moment where he can be an actual hero, and that's awesome. I like they did that. But really, it doesn't matter in the end because it is a stupid throwaway sequence in a movie that has nothing to do with the plot. And all of you are like, oh, the Riot Control Trooper is amazing. Oh, I like him better than Captain Phasma. He's in the movie for maybe 30 seconds total. Captain Phasma actually has speaking roles, actually has, a lot to do with, like, she's actually very important to the plot. She's very, very important. Even though she's kind of underwhelming, Phasma actually has a functionable role in the movie other than, oh, look, this is supposed to be like the champion of the enemy, and I'm going to dispatch him in 3 seconds. It's a hero versus this, it's a hero archetype versus, the person who's like, I'm the toughest guy. It's really all it is. It's basically Achilles running out against, the champion of whatever army he's facing. It's David and Goliath, except Goliath is functionally handicapped. Okay, and that's the reality. That is the reality. But that's a whole other story at some point in time where where we'll get into what Goliath actually was and why it is he doesn't matter. But anyway, I just wanted to to talk about it because it was bothering me. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're still not doing our traditional episodes yet. I realize like I said, I did 2 last week, so don't count on that until at least January 1st. So a whole other week from now, probably the following Monday, maybe we'll be back doing actual things because it'll be a new year. A lot of movies are coming out this year. A lot of things have gone on since we decided to take our break. So there's a lot to talk about. We'll talk to you for sure then. But like us on Facebook. Please remember to like this video, comment on it, share it on all your social media platforms, subscribe to the channel, and please actually tell me what you think about the Riot Trooper, and try not to spoil the movie. I know that's hard now because, we're nearly 2 weeks away, but try really hard not to spoil it. So, yeah, I'm done for the day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.